All right, welcome you guys. It's so good to see you guys here. Welcome Becky and Connie and Ani. And we've got people joining us from all over the place. If you wouldn't mind, if you'll put in the chat where you're joining us from and who invited you. We always love seeing where people are from. And yeah, it's just so much fun. So first off, you guys, this is a really great class because it is a basic 101. If you're a beginner or maybe you've been with doTERRA or used essential oils for a really long time, hopefully you'll be able to help add information, answer questions. At the end of class tonight, we will have a time when we will ask you guys if you have any testimonials or anything you'd like to share with us. Like I said, we love joining here. We join every Tuesday night via Zoom, and it is on at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. And we have people joining us from all the way across the country. And so welcome, welcome. You guys, this is if you have some of the products and you're going, gosh, I haven't even opened my box. How many of you guys have got stuff that you don't know what to do with, or it's still sitting in the box somewhere, and you're going, gosh, I would love to know what to do with it? So those are going to be things that we're going to answer towards the end of class tonight. And so let's get going. Let's jump in. My name is Haley. I am from Northern Nevada. I've been using doTERRA for about 14 years at this point, and I can't imagine one day that goes by where I don't get them out and use them. And so here's some of the reasons why people choose doTERRA. How do we stand out in the market? Why is it that people are so loyal to us? We have one of the largest essential oil companies in the world, and this is part of it, is we go to the natural origin to find and source our oils. We don't cut any corners. Like if we could save money or do it a little bit differently to make it less expensive, that is something doTERRA is not willing to do to compromise the effect and the quality of the oil. We also go to, when we go to these different origins, we want to make sure that the soil is good. How many of you guys live in an area where they do farming or a lot of growing of trees or different things, and yet you see, all kinds of bugs being sprayed and pesticides and chemicals? And even if you get something that has been labeled organic, chances are it's been exposed to something that will harm the plant, which when we take that and it goes into the plant and then we get the essential oil out of it, then it's already been contaminated. And so this is why doTERRA is so diligent in making sure that we test the soil that the plants are grown in. We test it over and over and over along the way to make sure that it didn't get put into a container that might have soap residue or something like that. Another thing that I absolutely love about this, what doTERRA does, is we ethically source our products. So we don't go in and just mass produce and then, cut it down and replant later. We make sure that we're taking care of each one of those plants and that they're harvested in the time that they're supposed to so that we can get the most potent, effective product. Now, because we do all of those things, we actually use our essential oils for way more than just aromatics. A lot of people will go, oh yeah, sense of you walk down the grocery store aisle and you'll see, enhanced with a lemon essential oil or, a cleaner that has lemon in it. And the chances of it being even close to what we use is very far. So we want to also make sure that we test each one of those things to make sure that nothing has been adulterated. There's a lot of tests out there on the market where people will take something. So for instance, like birch, doTERRA did a test a few years ago, and they just randomly went to, health food stores and different markets and bought all the different types of birch essential oil that they could find. And of 19 different bottles of birch, not one of them had any birch oil in the bottle. You guys, that's amazing to me. And so I always want to make sure, and I love that we have something that we can count on, that this is not only something that works and is very effective, but we can trust that each bottle, because it has CPTG on the side of it, it has been tested to make sure that it is something that we would use on our whole family. Now, I don't take this lightly. When I started educating about essential oils in the very beginning, I thought, oh, you know what? Is there really that big of a difference? Well, the longer that I've been with doTERRA, the more that I learn, the more that I've seen firsthand the fields, the testing, all of the different science and studies that go behind it, the more I trust it. And I'm so excited to be able to share with you guys some of the things that I love to use essential oils for. And just know that they are different. They are different than anything else that's out there. doTERRA is the most tested, trusted, and researched essential oil on the market. Now, something we're going to talk about in a few minutes is, are they affordable? Because the other thing that we run into quite a bit is people are like, I know, but gosh, how much is it for that little bottle of essential oil? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's worth every single drop. Every drop is super potent. And so we usually end up using less of our essential oil than most of the ones that are on the market. And like I said, we test them. I know for myself, before I was using essential oils, I was going to, the pharmaceutical, I was cleaning my house. We would, firsthand reach to, all kinds of things like in our first aid cabinet. And now, because I use none of those things, I'm able to save thousands of dollars every single month by replacing those items with things that I'm making from scratch or being able to use that are more effective, which is also keeping me out of the doctor's office. All right, so the doTERRA difference, we already talked a little bit about this. This is something that is so exciting. Every single one of our bottles, you will find CPTG labeled on the side, and you can be guaranteed that it is certified, it's pure, it's been tested, and it's the grade that we can use for all kinds of different things around the house. So there's no synthetics, there's no ingredients that's been added to it or taken away from it. Each one of our essential oils come from the plants. Now, whether it comes from the rind. So if you get a citrus oil, it's coming from the rind of the fruit. We use the bark in like cinnamon bark. We'll use pine needles. We'll do all kinds of different things to make sure that we're using the right part of the plant, and including like a lot of herbs and leaves and things like that. I love that we can have them, we can test them, we can make sure that um, they can be used topically, aromatically, and one of my favorite ways to use them is internally. So we have three questions that I'm going to address tonight that are super important. It's like the ones that keep coming up over and over and over in conversations when I'm introducing essential oils to other people. The first one, and probably my favorite, is, are they safe? And I'm here to tell you that what's in the bottle is 100% pure essential oil. Um, there's been nothing added to it. There's been nothing taken away. So when people test them at different levels, you heard me say, out of 18 bottles of birch, not one of them had any actual birch oil in it. Well, what's in that bottle? Well, for our oils, when you go to the grocery store, the health food store, the gas station, or big box store, and you buy a essential oil and it's labeled 100, or it's labeled pure essential oil. All it has to do is have 6% pure oil in the bottle, and who knows what the quality is or where it's been harvested from, what it's been exposed to. And the rest of the bottle can be filled with anything that they want, and they don't have to disclose that to you. So, what I usually teach people is, when you get a bottle of essential oil, if you have some in your cupboards, go over to your cupboard, open it up, and look at the label. Like, what are the warnings? Because if it says do not ingest, ask the question why. So if I'm going out to my garden and I'm picking peppermint leaves out of my garden and I just rub them together in my hands, or I dry them and I make it into tea, there's nothing in there that could be harmful, except for, what if it's been sprayed with a pesticide? Or what if my dog had been running through the garden? Or what's in the soil? What kind of things has that plant been exposed to where then you would want to have the label, like a bottle that you buy at store, that says not safe for internal purposes. Now let's talk about topical. So anything that you're putting on your skin is going into your body, into your cells, into your bloodstream, and usually very quickly. So if you're picking up a bottle of essential oil from who knows where, or you've been gifted some, or maybe you got it for Christmas or something, and it says, don't put it on topical, again, I want you to ask the question, why? What's been added to this, or what's in the bottle that might cause harm or a reaction to my skin? All right. So these are just things to think about, you guys. And with doTERRA, I want you to look at the picture on the left-hand side. Our bottles, you know if they're safe to take internally because they have supplement facts on the outside. Now, this is something that we really stand out in the market for, because if you go, like, next time you go to the grocery store or something, I want you to go over and just look at the bottles, turn them over, and read the ingredients, find out what's in the bottle. And more than that is what's not in the bottle. So we're looking at those cautions. doTERRA difference is 100% pure, unadulterated. And addiction, you guys, how many of you guys know someone or have experienced some kind of addiction in your family, your friends, right, Sarah? Me too. It's like that's one of the main things that I'm so excited about is I have a son who went to get a root canal, and he was given a prescription which changed his life forever. And it was due to pain medication. So with essential oils, this is something that we can use they're not only something you can replace with a medication, but they're also, in most cases, more effective, and they're really quick in action. So they're safe to ingest, they're plant-based, they're the most tested and trusted essential oil on the market. Now, I want to talk to you guys real quick about the importance of education. Because what we talk about in our doTERRA education classes is only for doTERRA essential oils. And I got you guys, this is something that I really want you to remember, because this is a picture of a family who took the mom took the girls to go visit their grandma, and while their grandma was watching them, they were asleep, getting ready to go to bed, wanted to be calmed down, and the grandma just went to her cupboard, found some lavender oil, and put it on their little chest, and you can see how it gave a chemical burn on their chest. You guys, this is the difference between a label that says not to put on topical or something that you can trust, like doTERRA's lavender. And we want you to come to these classes, get educated, reach out to the person who invited you here, and make sure that you're getting your answers to the questions that you might have on the safety. So I love that I can use any single essential oil, and it doesn't matter if it's on my pet, if it's on my brand new grandbaby, if it's for myself. It's just a matter of how much do we use. And so we're going to talk about that more. Okay, so here are some cautions. So what you don't want to do with any essential oil, you don't want to put them in your eyes, up your nose, or in your ears. Essential oils are very potent, and those inside there, the membranes are so thin and so sensitive that you can actually cause harm. There is a story where one of our doctors had been treating a child. The mom brought it in. He had had an ear infection. She'd gone to some essential oil class. She didn't listen and heed the warnings, and she just took a different oregano oil, dropped it into the child's ear, burned the inside of the ear, and then brings him to the doctor because there's something wrong. And this doctor looked at her and he's like, "What were you thinking?" Well, you guys, she didn't have the education. She didn't know how to really do it, and how to get that really great result. And so again, we really want to listen. Don't be afraid. Just get educated on how to use them. Okay, now we have less is more. So many times, and my husband's a great example of this. You probably know somebody like that too. If you have a little bit of something, more is even better. So he would take something like Deep Blue for a pain. And instead of just using a drop or two, adding it to like a coconut oil or a lotion or something, he would just like fill his hand with the oil, put it in his hand, rub it all over, and he would use a whole bunch of it. Well, it was just as effective having one or two drops as having 5 or 6 or 7 drops. And so always remember what we teach is you'll start with a little bit of essential oil, and then apply it a little bit more often. So you can't put an oil on, say you've got a toothache. You can't put a drop of clove on the toothache first thing in the morning and expect it to never be in pain again. You're going to need to reapply that essential oil throughout the day, maybe every 2 or 3 hours, just to keep getting the good result. So that's more often. Okay, hot. You guys, some of these essential oils are hot. They're hot to the skin. They're hot to taste. So think of like a jalapeno pepper. Well, we've got cinnamon, we've got cassia. Both of those, if you're not familiar with cinnamon, if it's so much unlike the powder that's in your cupboard. It's very, very potent. It's really delicious. And a lot of times when I'm using cinnamon, I'm just touching the top of the bottle and I'm just touching it like to my tongue or whatever. When I'm using hot essential oils, one of the rules that I use is I use my pinky to touch the top of the bottle, get the oil on, and then apply it where I need it. Because if I use my pointer finger, which is what I would normally use, then if the residue is still on my finger and I go to rub my eye or something, that's going to get in my eye and it's going to be very uncomfortable. So you guys, there are some hot oils. We'll teach you how to use them. When you have a hot one, we're usually using them for viruses or bacteria or different infections that might be going on throughout the body. Now, dilution. So what do we do when we have a hot oil, or what, like back to the story about my husband and how he's going, gosh, I really have my whole shoulder that's hurting and one drop isn't going to cover it. Well, this is when you would take either a fractionated coconut oil, which is something I absolutely love. We also have an unscented lotion, and now we have castor oil. And so each one of these, and I love that there's no scent, there's no flavor, there's nothing that's going to counteract with the essential oil itself. So what we could do with my husband is we could have him put his hand out, put a drop or two of the deep blue oil in his hand, and then put just a little bit of the coconut oil, rub it, mix it together, and then he can apply it to that entire area. And it's going to cover more of the surface and still be extremely effective in the way that it has a result. And you guys, just another really great thing about dilution is it's helping it stay at a topical level longer. So you'll see that, fractionated coconut oil, if you're familiar with that, it's a coconut oil that has been spun and the fat and the scent has been removed. So there's no scent. It's very lightweight. It will not clog your pores. So it's perfect to put on your skin. Some people will put it in their hair, and it's light. The unscented lotion that doTERRA has is a really nice creamy consistency that is really great. So if you want to, put it on, maybe you have your favorite citrus oil that you're putting on after you take a shower, just put a couple of drops of the citrus oil in your hand, put the unscented lotion, rub it together, and you can put it wherever you want. What I love about having these unscented things and having a huge variety of essential oils is you guys can custom blend what you want the result. So if you want something uplifting and fresh and clean, you can use essential oils for that. If you want something more calming or something that's going to help relax your muscles, you can add those oils. And so you can really customize and using that dilution. Now, the last safety issue that we want to talk about tonight is photosensitivity. Now, most citrus oils are known that when you put them on, where you can see them on your skin. So if you put them where the sun don't shine, like if you've got them, underneath your clothes or something, you don't have to worry about it. But if you have bare skin, like on your neck or your arms or your forehead, and you put a citrus oil on and you go out into the sun, it's going to enhance your chances to get sunburned. So just make sure that you're either putting them in a beverage, like you can put them in your water and drink it when you're out in the sun. You can make a mocktail, a cocktail, add it to a drop of lemon or orange to a beer, whatever it is you want to do. You don't have to worry about it. But if you're putting it, like you won't want to put lemon and because you love lemon on your cheeks and then go out in the sun and work in the garden. You will more than likely get sunburn. Okay. So there are three different ways that we can use our essential oils. We've kind of talked about them a little bit. Aromatic is anytime you're going to put it on or around you. So I love being able to have it on jewelry, or I love a diffuser. How many of you guys have a diffuser where I'll just put a couple of drops in the diffuser? What I love about diffusing is everyone around me in that area is getting the benefit of whatever essential oil we put in it. So if we want to calm down the area, we can just put something like Serenity or something super calming. If we work in an environment where a lot of people are coughing and sneezing and whatever the circumstances is, you can use immunity boosting essential oils, or you can use something that's really going to get on those surfaces and really take care of things. Now, when you're putting it on your skin, we've talked about, adding it to a carrier oil. I love every time I go to my massage therapist, I take my essential oils and I'll say, okay, target this area, do this with this one. And she loves it because she's getting the benefit of having them on her hands as she's putting them on my skin. Now, what I love about topical too is you can go to the targeted area. So instead of, when my son went in for a dental procedure, normally you would say, okay, if you're in a lot of pain, you take a pill, you swallow it. It takes a little bit of time to dissolve and go where it needs to go. Well, with a target, being able to put it on topical, you can go directly to where the area hurts. So say for instance, we've got a toothache, or we've got somebody who's just got braces, or maybe you've got a brand new baby who's getting teeth. So you're going, I don't know about deep blue, like deep blue is for pain. So maybe we're not putting it in the mouth, but we're going on the jawline. So you just take a little tiny bit, you put it on the jawline, or you can go to directly where the area is. My husband's shoulder, he went straight to the shoulder instead of having to wait for a pill or something. You guys, I love it. I can customize my skin routine, my skincare. If you have, something going on the bottoms of your feet, you can target that too. Okay, and then not only is it safe to take, but it's recommended to take internally. You guys you heard me mention that it's probably my favorite way to use essential oils. Back a few years ago, I was traveling through Europe, and right when there was a huge breakout and they were shutting everybody down and making people wear masks and things. And I caught it. I was at the airport and I came home with something that I wasn't wanting. And I found that the most effective thing that helped me through that was when I would make my own hot tea. Now, what I do with my tea, when you hear me talk about tea, I'm not taking a tea bag or anything. I'm taking a mug of warm water. I'm adding the essential oils and I'm custom blending it to what is going to best support me with. So during that time, I would, there was times when I put a drop of frankincense, a drop of on guard, drop of lemon, a drop of tea tree. I'd stir it up really good, add a little honey to taste, and I would just sip on it. When I would do that, I felt really, really good. And then another great way that you can use them internally is putting them in a veggie cap. I have a friend, she's not here tonight with us, but she carries around a little baggie with empty veggie caps, and she has little dropper bottles with custom blends. One of them is called Pain in the Neck, and it's already ready. So if she runs into somebody that goes, gosh, I've just got this thing going on, would you like, and she puts a couple drops in it, takes it internally. Now, when you're making veggie caps, one of the things you want to remember is you cannot pre-make them. You need to go ahead and if you pre-make the veggie cap, because the essential oils will break down the vegetable cap and it will be a mess everywhere. Especially, I did this. Okay, I'm just going to admit, I made a bunch of them up. I put them back in this bottle, went to go get one out, and it was just this pile of essential oil. And so what I learned is I pre-make it, put it in a repurposed bottle, or you can also freeze them. So if you pre-make these little capsules, you freeze them, you need to take them out and you need to just take the capsule before it has a chance to thaw. And then cooking, you guys, oh gosh, we do an entire class on cooking with essential oils. And during the holidays is my favorite because there's not a time that I go to any event or any gathering that I don't make something and bring it that has essential oils. And the first thing people always say is, oh my gosh, I make these. How come yours tastes so much different? And it's because I'm using fresh ingredients, which is essential oils. So good. All right, you guys. So, all right, I wanted to share with you guys some of our diffuser blends, and feel free to take screenshots of some of these so you'll be able to have them and come back to it. I love this mug. It's like I think I have the urge to get up and clean the house. It's like, wait, nope, it's a false alarm. I'm just going to go ahead and turn on my diffuser. So I have a high vibe. So if you're wanting to change and yeah, Tammy, I was taking a picture. If you want to have that, I just want the energy in my home to be exciting and happy and full of life. Well, consider it like the high vibe. And I love this one, Rise and Shine. You guys, this is one of the reasons that when I first started my doTERRA journey, I had one bag, I had one diffuser, and I would haul it to work. I would take it home. I would take it up the stairs to my room. I would bring it back down, and it just went everywhere with me, kind of like a diaper bag if you got a brand new baby. And what I love about the journey is as I learned recipes and I learned different things and made a list of things that my family needed, I just each month I would just add something to it. I had this little wish list that was always going. And this is where, rise and shine or get her done. There's things this time of year as the sun is starting to come out more and it's starting to be more bright. Now, I know everyone lives in different areas. Here at my house, I have about 4 inches of snow. And so it's like, I really want that rise and shine or feel like the windows have been opened. And by diffusing blends like this, then this is the feeling that I get. And it really does help with my mood and just the atmosphere. Okay, second thing is, are they effective? Yes, you guys, these are so effective. How many of you guys have gone to the doctor and the doctor said, oh, you have XYZ. There's nothing we can do. Go home. You're going to have to wait it out. I'll give you this for a cough. I'll give you this for that or whatever. But in most cases, if it's a virus, they say no help. Wait it out. If it's a bacteria, they'll say, oh, yeah, we can give you an antibiotic, no problem. We want you to take this and this and this. How many of you women, I know men are be watching this too, but how many of you women have taken an antibiotic and later ended up with some other present? Right? And it's like, gosh, dang it. I don't want that. So what happens with essential oils is our body sees them as something that's natural and it doesn't have that outer membrane around the cell that protects it that won't allow the medication to get over it because our bodies are so smart and so resilient. And so where an essential oil can cross that membrane and go in and stop the virus in its tracks. And that is so important, you guys. So the bacteria, and we've got, oregano, that was listed on one of our hot oils. It is a natural antibiotic that is so powerful and potent in helping to really take care of it. When I hear people say, oh, I've had this cough for 6 weeks, I'm like, what? Hold on. Are you open to trying something different? Because what we hear all the time is, oh, I went to the doctor, they gave me this, it didn't work. I went to the doctor, they gave me that, it didn't work. I ended up getting something else instead. And do you have anything that will help? This is what I hear all the time. You guys, there are no side effects to using essential oils, there's only side benefits. And when you do get educated on what to do with what you have or how to treat it and how often to use it, this is when you get good results. This is why we do these classes and why we're so excited that you're here. Okay. Now the modern approach is, and I kind of talked about it already. Okay, we're used to going in and managing the symptoms, managing whatever happens. But how many times do you go, gosh, I want to get to the root cause? So if somebody comes to me and says, I've been coughing for 6 weeks, I don't just hand them one of our stop the cough blends and say, okay, good luck. It's gonna, this will make it feel a little better. I go into, okay, what's going on? And at the end of class tonight, I'm going to show you a couple of tools that I use where we can really get to the root because I'm not a doctor, you guys. I'm not a nurse. The only initials behind my name are MOM, and a lot of it has been through hard knocks and learning. And so what do we want? We want to be able to find things that are natural that actually go in and address the body's needs because when the body gets what it needs, it heals itself. The essential oils are just tools for us. And, really we live in an environment where they say it's healthcare, but really, is their goal to help us get healthy? I don't know. So, okay, next one. So the third one is, are they affordable? Back to the question of, oh my gosh, how much is a bottle of frankincense? How is that is that the biggest the bottle that comes in? It's like, it is because they are so potent and they're so effective that each one of our 15 ml bottles, which is shown here, has 250 drops of essential oil in it. The small bottles, which are 5 ml, have 85 drops. When you have a small bottle, remember they're extra potent, you need less. So back to, our favorite saying, use less more often. So on the bottom left-hand side, I've given, so my story getting involved with essential oils was I had debilitating essential oil or allergies. I had these things that would happen to me that my face would start to tingle. And within 5 minutes, I was swollen from my nose all the way through my forehead to the point where you couldn't see the bridge of my nose. And I couldn't open my eyes and they were bulging out. And this was happening just once in a while. And then pretty soon it was more often. And it got to where I was spending more time in bed than out of bed. And I knew that it wasn't just allergies. Like I went to doctors, I went to allergy doctors, I went, and had all the tests done. And I went to emotional doctors and I went to my eye doctor and they gave me drops to put in my eyes that would numb them. Well, these things were just addressing the topical stuff. It was not getting to what is actually happening here. So that's when I got exposed to doTERRA, and I'm so extremely grateful every single day that I have these little tools that I can use. So the magic for me was 2 drops of lemon, 2 drops of lavender, and 2 drops of peppermint. And at the time, I just would put them underneath my tongue or I would put them in water. I mean, I was at a place where it didn't matter what it tastes like, it didn't matter what it smelled like. I had to use it. And when I say that this has saved us thousands of dollars a month, well, it has, because we've been able to, it's been 12 years since I've had an over-the-counter prescription or drug, except for one time when I had major oral surgery, which they made me use the stuff for a couple of days. But as soon as I could get away from it, I did. You guys, what I loved about this is I was taking, a few Benadryl when I would have these attacks, and it would take 20 or 30 minutes for me to get any kind of relief at all. So with the oils, you guys, I have my choice. I can put them in my mouth. I can put them in a gel cap. I can take that blend and I would just put it in my hands and breathe it in through, like this. I would put it in a diffuser. I can mix that blend up and put it, around my cheeks. I can put it anywhere that I'm having an outbreak. And within seconds, I'm getting relief. You guys, I don't know if you or anyone suffers from things like asthma and allergies and, these things that just come up. So this is a price per drop. And you can see that with me doing those 2 drops of each of those essential oils is 60 cents. The pill that I was taking is like 7 for one. And so it's $7, not 7 cents. And it's like, wow, the difference is huge. Plus the side effects. And it's just a Band-Aid. It's not doing anything to get to the root cause. So are they affordable? You bet they are. If you look at On Guard, which is one of our immunity blends that we use, they make it in so many products because it's so effective at 16 cents. It's worth its weight in gold. Okay. Now, these ones, you guys, I want you to look at all the oils that are on the screen right now because they are our first reach products. They're the ones that, should be in the medicine cabinet or by the kitchen sink or, wherever it is that you reach for things when you need assistance. Because if you look at each one of them and the ways that we can use them to support our bodies, you'll see why these are, I was going to say they're top 10 oils, but there's only 9 showing. So, but these are really great essential oils. There's a saying, when in doubt, get the frankincense out. When people ask me, well, what do you use frankincense for? I'm like, well, what do I not use it for? I use it for my skin. I add it to my skincare. If I have, any kind of tension and stuff, I usually add that to it. I put a drop on my thumb in the roof of my mouth every single day. And the reason I do that is because of its support in brain function. In our family, on both sides, we have people who forget who they are, and I'm being proactive. I don't want to do that. It's like that's something I don't want. Digestion is another one that is absolutely amazing. It's for everything digestive. And again, why I like being able to use it internally or topically. I don't really know a reason why you'd want to diffuse it, although you could, but it's like, gosh, you guys, if I know I'm going to go eat dinner and it's going to cause, heartburn or my throat to, get bad or my stomach to hurt, I can either put it in my mouth under my tongue, I can add it to water, I can put it topical on my throat. If I got something going on in my belly, I can drop a drop in my belly button, or I mean, and here's a hack. If you have any kind of sinus congestion or tightness in your forehead, or, this is one that you can put, on the center of your forehead or across the T here. Very, very effective in opening up those airways. Indigestion, it has peppermint, it has fennel, which is great for, when your stomach gets tight and wheezy and queasy and stuff like that. It has ginger. It has cardamom, which is probably one of those ginger, form of ginger that helps with, opening up your airways. I mean, I love how versatile they are. Now, let's talk really quick about who can use this in your family. I'm just going to say everyone back to there's like I've got a brand new grandbaby. And so if she has some, maybe she's spitting up a little bit, or her tummy, she's having a hard time going potty, or maybe she's going potty too much. I use the same exact oil for all of those things, all of them. And if you go to your medicine cabinet, how many different products do you have for as an antacid, as reflux, as indigestion, as diarrhea, as constipation, and yet you've got all of the everything that you need in this one bottle, and it just helps your body. So, you guys, I think you're probably starting to see it's like, wow, is it really true? Like, here's the question. I remember when I first got started, I'm like, this sounds too good to be true. And anything that seems too good to be true, I'm like, eh. But you guys, 14 years later of using essential oils and educating people, I can tell you that it works. It absolutely does. I do spend a lot of time learning though, because I feel like I need to know what to do with what I have. Okay, you guys, so let's talk about brand new to our doTERRA family. We have two product lines. The On Guard is everything immunity for your body. Everything, everything from hands to mouthwash to toothpaste to sprays to laundry. We've got On Guard Plus, we've got a hand sanitizer. And all of that is intended to help protect us or to stop any kind of um, virus in its tracks. Like, let's stop it where it is. Now, Abode, which is the line that's on the right-hand side, this is everything for your home. You guys, one of my goals when I first started learning about doTERRA, I'm like, oh yeah, uh-huh. And then I started going, well, gosh, if it works that good and it's that effective for my allergies, what else can I use it for? And pretty soon, my goal was to go through each part of my house, whether it was the laundry, the dishes, my skincare, shampoo and conditioner, and body sprays and all that, and replace them with things that I could trust that weren't causing more side effects to our family. And so now, you guys, it took me about a year to really trust it and get it all out, but it's gone. And everything in my household is like this now. So if my dog gets, into something, or my new grandbaby gets into something, I don't have to worry about it, and that's really big, especially when we talk about things that are affecting our body. Okay, you guys, and this is another one you want to take a snapshot of. Tammy, get your camera out or your phone. Is like, okay, our all-purpose spray. You guys, I use it on every surface in my house, including my patio furniture, my car. I spray it on my laundry when there's, stains or something like that. The only thing I don't use this spray for is my windows, my mirrors, and my stainless steel stovetop. I have other doTERRA I use for that, but this, you guys, everything toilets, and so it targets mold, mildew, germs. And so if I go to the grocery store and bring home fresh fruits and vegetables, I have a farm sink, thank goodness. I throw all of it in there. I cover it with water. I spray it with this spray. And I can go straight from spraying my countertops, spraying my fruit, to spraying whatever else. And then I just let it sit there for about 10 minutes, and then I just rinse it off really good. I don't have to worry about it. This same spray you can take and spray directly on like a car seat or toys that you can't, wash or launder, everything. And I know that it's safe. It's not going to hurt anyone that it comes in contact with, and it's pretty awesome. So, all right. So the next one is, so we're talking about immunity a little bit extra tonight, only because how many of you guys know somebody who has sniffles or snot or, just doesn't feel very good? These are your immune support dream team. You can use these. You can put them on your feet. You can diffuse them. You can use pretty much any combination of them. We do have oregano and thyme on here. So I use thyme whenever there's anything to do with the throat and chest. I use oregano whenever it's on the rest of the body. There's lots to learn about these two oils. My oregano, because I'd gone to a class and they had said, oh, it's hot and it can do this and that. I didn't use it for the first like year. I'm not kidding. I was scared of it. And now I use it all the time because I got more educated and I learned what to do with it. And it's really effective. One of my favorite ways to use oregano, you guys, is I do equal parts oregano and frankincense and coconut oil, and I use that for pain. So if you've used Deep Blue or any of these other blends and you haven't really got the result that you want, you're like, gosh, it helps, but not quite enough. Try adding those two oils to it. Okay. Okay, this is one of my favorite blends. We have something that we call Symphony of the Cells. If you have not been exposed to Symphony of the Cells yet, reach out to the person that invited you here or go into our VIP Facebook group and search Symphony of the Cells. This blend was put together during that same time when I told you I had traveled out of the country and came back with a mask and a bunch of stuff going on in my body. And it really affected my chest. And I just, body from head to toe felt like I'd just been hit by a train. Oh, that's not good. Anyway, and this was what I used. We call it the bomb because it just gets in there and it just knocks things out. I put it in a roller bottle because sometimes you don't have somebody who can apply these one at a time. And so, but it's such a good one. So anything in the chest, in the throat, um, if I've got somebody who's got something going on in their throat, I'll have them put the roller from one ear across underneath the chin to the other ear. And then you can also go like across the chest. Down the spine is another really great place, and back to less more often. So I could do, that, but I would be reapplying this roller probably every 3 or 4 hours. And the best part about it is you can't overuse it. You can underuse it, right? If you don't use it, you're not going to get a result. But this is really, really effective. For littles on this blend, I would just roll it on the top of my fingers and then maybe just go down the bottoms of their, or across their back, or, on the bottoms of their feet. I use oils pretty freely. And now this one is our immune boost roller. You'll also hear people talk about flume or flute. This one is for the rest of the body. So the body aches, the congestion. And again, you can make this up. You can apply it to the bottoms of your feet, ear to ear, down the spine, as often as you need to. And you don't need to be afraid of using it because it's going to be super effective, less more often. Spiced honey. So I love this blend. And so we take local honey and we add these essential oils to it. What I like about it is if you have that scratch starting to come in your throat, or maybe you have, allergies or, different cough that won't go away, you can take this honey once you made it and you can just take a little spoonful of it and just coat your throat with it. I love putting this in my coffee. I have people who will add peanut butter to it and put it in a sandwich. And you guys, as you're thinking of these recipes where we're adding it to we're making our own tea, we're making the spiced honey, you're getting benefits every time you use this, unlike the sweetened, sugared, stuff that you're getting at the grocery stores. When you see something that is, the other day I was at the store and they had some peanut butter and honey blend that had something at chili peppers or something in it. And I thought, gosh, that actually sounds pretty good. Well, I'm looking at the ingredients and it had all the sugar and flavors and colors and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is going to cause my body havoc. Like, this is not good. So you guys, these are so easy to use and so beneficial. All right, so now we're going to kind of pivot and go to essential oils. So doTERRA is the world's largest leading essential oil company. And what I love about this part is we've been able to take their science, their all of their information that they have, and be able to put it into a supplement that is very supportive to our body. What you're seeing here is our foundational wellness. So you've got VMG, which is way more than just vitamins and minerals. You've got all kinds of food, bio available food that you can't possibly get by going to the grocery store anymore. I believe that we live in a time when you have to supplement. There's been so much, our soil has been depleted of all the minerals and the nutrients. And so we really do have to find something. And just the same way that doTERRA sources our essential oils and tests the soil and the plants and the trees and everything, they do the same with these products. And now we have these are great. We have classes that go deep into each one of these products. PB Restore is everything for your microbiome and for your gut. Our gut is known as our second brain and really is important in the way that we have full body function. And you guys, there's pre, pro, and postbiotics in here, and really, really good. This capsule, I love seeing it because it's a capsule inside a capsule inside of a capsule, and it's meant to open in your body where it's supposed to, and it doesn't activate until it does. So that's why we don't have to refrigerate it. We also have a brand new updated E omega fish oil. And you guys, this one is not just a fish oil. I had no idea that the fish oil that I took years ago when I would burp up this fishy taste and all that, that it was rancid. And not only that, but most of the fish oil that's on the market isn't even fish oil. So we've got a really, really great product here. The capsules are a little bit big. And so what I love is I'll just pop one in my mouth. I'll chew it up like a gummy. Kids are able to do that. It has a really good wild orange flavor. And yet we're getting all of the omegas and all of the things that we need to support our brain and our heart health. This is a really great product line, you guys. And I hope that if you are, if you haven't tried it yet, ask the person to get you some samples or get some more information. We now have little sample kits that we can get for you. Or you can, I think, even purchase them through doTERRA. Try before you buy. You guys, right now, doTERRA, our group, we belong to a group that's over 1 million people, and they have put together a 90-day reset. I know this time of year, people are always going, okay, I'm going to do this different. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I have all these things, all these goals. And, within a few weeks, people usually have already gone on and haven't done it. Well, we have a Facebook group. If you go to Facebook and you search 90-day reset experience, January 2026, this is our master group. And we have really, really smart people who have been in doTERRA for a very long time, who know these products inside and out, who are educating us on how to use the products, when is the best time to use these products to really be able to reset and get a better result so we feel our very best. People are noticing, noticing changes in their skin. This first section is to help prepare our bodies for the detox and the cleanse part, which is coming up next month. If you guys want more, you guys go into the Facebook group. You can also go into your doTERRA office and just put in the search bar 90-day reset, look for month 1, and it's going to have all of this discounted below wholesale. And anytime you buy a bundle of something from doTERRA, you save. And if you do this before or any time of the month, I guess, you can get a free 5 ml bottle of Digestion. We're going to just take it one more level. And if you're new to doTERRA, or if you haven't ordered in at least a year, you can qualify for our Healthy 100 promotion. This is when you enroll with a 100 PV order, you place a 100 PV order for the following month, and you get 100 free product points the third month. You guys, so if you line this up with our 90-day reset, you will get the first, if you do that wellness kit or wellness bundle, you'll get the free Digestion. If you add one thing to your cart, and I'm going to recommend TerraZyme, because TerraZyme is such an important part in our bodies being able to break down the food that we have. You'll also qualify, if you place before the 15th, a free bottle of frankincense. In month 2, you'll get a free bottle of castor oil, and the third month, you can qualify for a powered mixer bottle, which is super awesome. And again, you guys, this I know is a lot of information. As you guys are taking it all in, take a deep breath and know that we're here to support you and answer your questions. doTERRA wants to reward us. They want to say thank you for being a great customer. They give us all kinds of free things. They have something called rewards ordering, and that is when you have something that ships every single month. Now, I know for myself, I was like, never, ever, ever will I ever do any of that stuff, because I've been burned by that kind of thing before, where I couldn't cancel and you had to go in person and all this stuff. You guys, it's super easy to cancel or change your order. You decide what ships, when it ships, where it ships every single month. In addition to the bundle, if you're new here, or if you haven't purchased the wellness packet yet, the foundational wellness, the first time you do, you get the free gift, which is a sample pack of everything shown on the right top hand corner. You guys, when I was talking about the On Guard toothpaste or the Deep Blue rub, different essential oils, all of it comes in a little packet that you get to try before you buy. Now, when you'll also qualify for the little shaker bottle that's shown in the picture on the bottom left. doTERRA wants to help us be successful. They want to say thank you, and so they are really good at giving us things back. When you're ordering on rewards, you can earn anywhere from 10 to 30% back in points. When you guys hear me talking about points, think of dollars. Every point is worth $1, and you can turn them in anytime you want on different kinds of products so that you're getting free. Now, I don't know of any point reward system that's out there, from gas stations to library to coffee cards to airline tickets, that give you 30% back in your purchase. Wouldn't that be nice at the grocery store? It's like every time you spend $100, they gave you 30 free dollars worth of stuff at the grocery store. I would love it. But one thing that I want you to think about there is, when I said, it took me a little bit of time, but I replaced so many of the things that I was buying at the grocery store. Household cleaners. I used to hate when I would go to the store and spend so much money on stuff to clean my house. And now I'm doing it with natural products that are way better for my home and our family. And so I am shopping at my own store. Okay, tips, you guys, just to kind of review. Consistency is key. You can't use one of these products one time once a week and expect to get the result that you're working on. Develop a routine. Put these products out where you're going to see them. My goal, you heard me, it's like I had one bag, I had one diffuser, I carried it around with me because I wanted to be able to use it. And as I could, I started getting more different things. So I could have, my lemon in the kitchen next to the sink, so that when I got a glass of water, I saw it and I would use it. If it's in a drawer or in a bag somewhere, you're never going to remember. And then begin with some kind of goal in mind. Like, what would you like to target? Mine was allergies. Like, if I were able to say, okay, if I can just get a handle on this, my life will be so much better. And it is. So maybe it's sleep. Maybe it's anxiety. Maybe it's that you have a chronic fill in the blank. Start there. What are the things that I need? How do I apply them to get the best results? When do I apply them to get the best results? And then put them where you can see them so you don't forget. Um, Discover and use our resources. And I'm going to tell you more about those in just a second. And then lastly is just buy them at the best price. I'll have people come in. I own a retail store, and people will say, "Oh no, I would just rather pay retail." Fine, but why wouldn't you want to get the very best price and earn free points and free product and all the things? I want to get the most bang for my buck, and that's why we're here to teach you guys how to do the same. Okay, so you guys, this is a pretty busy little slide right here, but I want to talk about these resources. If you go to the QR code, it can give you links to all of the different things that we as a group provide for you to stay connected to us. It gives you our Facebook, our YouTube. We do a newsletter. And then, so you go there, you get connected to us. All of our classes that we do are recorded and put up on YouTube, and you can find us at Haley B Essentials 4277. But pictured here, we have a Zyto Balance and a Viscera. So these are products that are not doTERRA. They are really great for helping us discover what is it that my body actually needs. Where is my body stressed out? And it's not us, Haley with MOM behind her name. It's a really great, very reliable tool that we use. The other one is the two books that are shown on the right-hand side, the Modern Essentials book and the Essential Life book. You guys, these are reference books. I swear, when I got mine, I went to the front and I just started opening it up, and it's like, what is this and what does it do? And then as they're in order to where, like, if it's an earache, you go to that section and it tells you the best oils and how to apply them and when to apply them. And if you don't have this oil, then try this one. And they give you, roller bottle blends and different ways to solve some of these things. These were my go-to books that how I started to learn. The Essentials and Emotions is another just fantastic book. So many of our ailments that we go through and the things that we have are results of holding on to emotional things that don't get solved, or we don't have resources and know what to do to be able to take care of them. And so reach out, you guys, reach out to us. Get your resources. If you have something that's going on, look it up. A lot of this stuff, you can also go to our Good Vibes Facebook page, where you just put something in the search bar and lots of stuff. We've been doing that for like eight or 9 years now, and we have so much that's there for you. Our goal here as leaders of doTERRA is to help empower you to know what to do with what you have, or to be able to know what you need to get so that you can best support your body to live a lifestyle or a life that is even better than you imagined. And so, gosh, I just want to say thank you for joining us. I'm going to stop the share of the screen. And before I do that, I'm going to stop the recording, because that's part of the fun of being here, is you get to be here and hear you get to be a part of the Q&A afterwards. So we'll say goodbye to everybody who is watching the recording. And then I'm going to